Next, we're going to create another component called hero, and inside of this, we'll do the same thing again. Create a hero.jsx file and a hero.css file. Inside of the hero.jsx, I'm going to go ahead and create the boilerplate. And since you guys already get what's going on here, I'm simply going to paste in all of the imported components that we're going to be using, and I'm going to import the single image that we're going to be using in this component. So here we're going to create a container component, and again, we don't need this max width. Add an ID equal to home. And now what we're going to do to make this responsive is we're going to use our stack component. And what this is going to do is it's going to set up what is basically a flexbox container. And so for this component, what we want to do is specify a direction. And this direction, we want it to be responsive. So for extra small viewport widths, we want this stack to display as a column. And we're going to go ahead and skip over small. And when we get up to a medium-sized viewport width, we want this to display as a row. And then between each item here, we want to have a spacing of 2. And now we want to style this with our SX attribute. And here we'll say width 100%, justify our content to the center. And if you guys know anything about Flexbox, we're basically using all of the CSS styling that you would use for a normal Flexbox container. And then we'll say align items to the center as well. And then we'll say min height needs to be 85 VH. Create our first column here. And to do that, we're going to use a box component. And then at this point, I feel like you guys probably already get the styling. So we'll just go ahead and paste in the styling that we want here. And we're going to have the width of this responsively change. So when it's displaying as a column here, we want it to take up 100% width. But when it's in a row layout, we want it to take up only 50%. And inside of this box, all we want is some basic text. So we'll go ahead and paste in 2 typography components. The first variant, H1. For the second typography, it's going to be H4. And then we're going to responsively resize our text based on the viewport width. So now what we can do is we want to actually display this in our app. So what we need to do is go ahead and import this. So we'll go ahead and say import hero, and then VS Code will help us out with the rest. And then underneath our navbar component here, we can use our newly created hero component. You guys can see that pop up successfully. But back inside of our hero, what we want to do is create one more box component. So we'll go ahead and create that like so. We'll go ahead and include our styling, and the width of this is going to be 50% with padding, and align the text to the center. Now within this box, we just want to have an image. So we'll create a normal image element. And for our SRC, we want to use the espresso image that we imported up top right here. Include our alternative text, and then here we want to simply include a style attribute and make the width of this 100%. And then this needs to be in quotation marks. And now you guys can see that this is set up responsively based on our viewport width using MUI. And then if we go down to a mobile viewport width, you guys will see that it's in a column layout instead of a row.
Tap here to see what happens next.